In this video, we're going to restore the original software of a Windows 8.1 era ASUS laptop. So why are we looking at an HP laptop then? Well, that's easy to answer. I don't have that ASUS laptop. So how have I come across the recovery software for it? I recently helped someone by replacing their laptop's hard drive with a solid-state drive. When I asked them if they wanted to keep the original hard drive, they said I could dispose of it. But the only thing I disposed of was the data stored in it. Not before backing up the recovery partition though. That's the only thing I've kept from that hard drive. It's just a bunch of WIM files, Windows image files. And now we're going to apply the files for that ASUS WIM file to this HP laptop. Because as it turns out, it's very similar to that ASUS X555L. They both have an Intel Core i7 4th generation Haswell, 4510U to be precise, NVIDIA GeForce 820M with integrated Intel HD 4400. But my HP came with a 750GB hard drive, which I replaced with an SSD back in 2016, and the ASUS came with a 1TB hard drive. How are we going to use that recovery partition on this computer? Well, I figured out a way. First, make a regular Windows 8.1 installer. If you don't have it already, you download an ISO file and you burn it to a DVD, or you write it to a USB flash drive. In this case, I wanted the flash drive to also hold the files for the ASUS recovery, so I use a relatively large drive, 32GB. I know you can get a much larger drive for cheaper these days, but 32 gigs is enough. And also had to be formatted as NTFS because that recovery image file is over 4GB, so it can't be stored on FAT32. And to apply that image to a hard drive or SSD, I downloaded a utility called WinNT Setup and stored it to the flash drive as well. So now let's plug it in and boot to it. This is going to start up the regular Windows 8.1 installer. And we'll just begin a standard installation. So that the partitions are set up correctly. Because you don't just set up one partition. There's also the EFI partition and a special Microsoft reserved partition. So we'll do custom. Delete the existing partitions that are here. Because I don't mind what's stored on this computer, I can delete everything. And begin installation to the unallocated space. Okay, so by now the partitions are created, so we can cancel this part of the setup. And now let's restore the ASUS files. We'll press Shift F10 to open a command prompt, or Shift FN F10 in this case. Switch to the main partition of the USB flash drive. This X drive is a RAM drive. I believe the flash drive is at D. Looks like it. And we can already see WinNT setup, so let's run it. It's gonna ask to download some files, but we can't here. So let's proceed without them. If you click on cancel, the program will quit. So let's click on OK. It fails, but then the program opens. So Windows installation files. That's gonna be that ASUS WIM file. Install the WIM. It's from Christmas 2014, interestingly. The boot drive is the EFI partition, which should already be selected, but we'll double check. Yes, the EFI system partition. Windows makes it 100 megabytes, which is a little small, but good enough if you just install Windows. We'll format it again. Leave default settings. Erase everything, but it's already erased. And then the installation drive, it's going to be the main partition. It sounds like it would be C, but 299 megabytes? That's not right. It's going to be the largest partition, in this case, drive G. Oh, and we have to format this too, quite important, because we don't want leftover files from that cancelled installation from before. As for options, there are two. ASUS HDI image and ASUS. ASUS HDI image is an incomplete installation in sysprep mode. so we don't want to use it. The one with the out-of-box experience is the second option, just named ASUS. And there are also multiple language options, though the OS should ask you for that as well. We don't need to change our settings, so let's start. Nearly 14 minutes later it's done. Let's unplug the USB drive and reboot. And here's the special ASUS copy of Windows 8. Why does it still have the HP logo on that corner? It's probably reading it from the motherboard just like the boot screen. Let's do English. Two-finger scrolling isn't working, so some drivers are missing. I accept, there's no other option. Just a test installation, of course. Definitely don't want to get online with it. Send information to Microsoft, see it's not just Windows 10 or 11. But it's not going to go online anyway, so just get past this quickly with Express settings. I'll use my test username again, Johnny. Here we are at the start screen. Looks pretty standard, except for this section, ASUS Apps. Well, let's go to the desktop first. And we already have an error because it's installed to the wrong computer. But here it is. And there's what that computer looks like on the outside, available in different colors. Are there other special wallpapers? No, it looks like this is just the one. We have Skype on the taskbar. RIP Skype. Have you used it before it was bought by Microsoft? This version is already too new compared to what I remember using back in the day on Windows XP. And it doesn't even close when you press the close button, it just minimizes. Probably have to close it from here. And I also saw McAfee there. Oh, this. Is my computer really secure, McAfee? Updates current? I doubt it can update even with an internet connection. This is obviously just a trial, yup. Okay, let's check out that stupid Windows 8 start screen. Starting from the Metro apps here. Netflix, probably standard one. You could download it from the Windows Store back then. What is it loading? There's no internet connection. Twitter. Doubt you can log in from this. Line. I know it's a messaging app, but it's not very common in this part of the world. TripAdvisor. Oh, at least it tells you you're not online. See, these Windows 8 apps, you can't do anything on them without an internet connection. Zinio. I tried an older version of this in my Toshiba Portage tablet video. That program came with some sample magazines from the US. This one comes with nothing, because you need to go online. The servers there are probably not working anymore. While Tangent Games, even this one requires an internet connection. No bundle trial games. Clicking on My Games just closes the app. Music Maker Jam. Oh my goodness, remember dubstep? Okay, I'll stop it just in case it's copyrighted. What about other music styles? Of course, they're not included. It can't load, of course. ASUS Web Storage. Yet another cloud service. Wonder if it still exists. Travel. I think that's standard Windows 8 app. Yep, this is not a special app bundled by ASUS. Microsoft Office. I don't think it comes with it. It's just a launcher to buy it and download it. Fresh Paint. I remember this when it was new. They tried to make it the next new thing to replace MS Paint, but I don't think many people remember it these days. And just like the rest of this OS, it's designed to be used with a touch screen, so it doesn't work that well with the mouse, even though it works. Flipboard. It's for reading news, so of course it needs internet as well. I don't think we're missing out of much just because I'm not connecting to the internet. Either it's gonna load a website, or it's not gonna do anything because the app is too outdated. Skype Wi-Fi. Yeah, I wonder what happened to all those hotspots after Skype went under. Thanks, Microsoft. And we're stuck in a loop. If you don't give in, you give in. Unless you know how to use Windows 8 by pressing the start button. And finally, over here, ASUS install, which of course doesn't work. Let's see the All Programs menu. Wild Tangent again. And My Games, nothing. Not like the older versions where you had the trial version of some games included. Audio Wizard. Nothing. Some more ASUS programs. Even want to flash a BIOS. I haven't even selected one. Splendid technology. So splendid. It doesn't do anything. Probably requires some special driver. Comes with Foxit PDF reader. Uses ribbon user interface. Maybe it's better than Adobe, but not as good as Sumatra PDF. Can we see an illustration of the computer? And look at down here. We've provided you free storage. Nice. Same thing, just a proper desktop app. Anyway, we were trying to find an illustration. That's what I always like to look for in a user manual. There it is. Comes with a keyboard with full-size arrow keys, but they are shifted over to the right. So the 0 key on the number pad is smaller, and you tend to press the left arrow key when you mean to press the down arrow. So you have to get used to that. Otherwise, not amazing, but not terrible. You can only upgrade the RAM there. To upgrade the hard drive, you have to take out all those screws and remove the top panel where the keyboard and touchpad are. So not impossible, but not very simple either. It has an optical drive, which is nice, and all the basic ports you need, except for USB Type-C because it's too old for that. So there was another tab there, I didn't see it. And I think that's about it. So there's no recovery partition here because we restored it from what was supposed to be the recovery partition. But otherwise, this is what this ASUS laptop came with when it was new in 2014 or 2015. Of course, back then the internet was already ubiquitous, so all the apps wanted you to connect. And some drivers are missing, but as usual, it's a test installation. So in this case, it doesn't matter. Last but not least, here's a list of the installed apps, in case you're curious about it. There we have it. Thank you for watching.